Path of Exile 2 is set to launch here in just around 12 hours, and they've finally been dropping the pre-download for the PC version. However, it is quite confusing there as we have 3 different client versions, which has 3 different ways to download, and they've all just went live. I'll as well go over the PS5 and the Xbox pre-downloads. I'll cover all that plus some brand new announcements for launch, early access launch times, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It's Utopia back here with another video. Today we're checking out all things Path of Exile 2. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. How do we download on all these different clients? How do we activate our keys? Where do we even purchase the game? So with Xbox and PlayStation, you can just head to the store, and that is a simple purchase. In fact, it just did go live on the PlayStation 5. So you'll see that even from a thread here, PS5 players can now purchase the game in the supporter pack. So you can just head to those supporter packs and actually download the game. However, if you are on PC, it gets a little bit complex and difficult. So first up here, we've had this article dropped, Path of Exile 2 Early Access Pre-Download Information, where they went on here to say that with the Early Access launch, there's a lot of PC players asking for a pre-download, and to ensure that they can play on launch. To accommodate this, they're making the standalone PC client available for download at 5 p.m. on Thursday at PST today, which is December 5th. However, there was some stuff there and wasn't able to be downloaded till around 8 p.m. CST, which was 6 p.m. PST, so about an hour after they actually said so. However, there's still a lot of confusion there, and there's going to be a lot of issues. They also do note here that when patching begins on Path of Exile, you may also have a few remaining files that you need to update as well. So you can't just log in right now. I'll get over to that in a little bit with the queue stuff. They mentioned after downloading the Path of Exile 2 client, you won't be able to log in until the early access launches on 11 a.m. Friday, December 6th. Again, I'll give it over to some of the early access times. However, to finish off here, they said the client will be available through Path of Exile 2 website, but they're also providing a torrent with a client download at the same time. They're still trying to make it into the pre-download available for all platforms, and they'll update the post when it does become available. However, they did actually launch the pre-download. We'll get into that in just here in a second. Where they have this post here that discusses the launch times. That's going to be dropping at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. PST, and 12 p.m. CST. That's on December 6th. That's when the early access does actually start. Now, as they showcase here, if you're on the standalone PC version, you can download at this link. Now, if you do want to download through Steam or the Epic Games client, that's a little bit different. I'll go over those first 2 methods as they're a little bit easier, and then the standalone client version if you want to do it through that method. So first off, if you do head over into the Path of Exile website and you go to the My Account section, I'll include all the links down below so it'll be a little bit easier for you. But on the right side here, you will see something labeled Path of Exile 2 Early Access. Upon clicking on that, you would be brought to a page where it shows you essentially some breakdowns here. So first up is the Path of Exile 2 Steam client key, the Path of Exile 2 Epic client key, and they also mention here that you can download and play on a standalone client that I'll cover in a bit. Now, when you do click on your claim keys that will give you a key, you can then head to those third-party softwares, Steam or Epic. In this case right now, it looks like these Steam client keys are unavailable. Seems like they did run out of keys for that to put in your library. When you do add those to your library, so for Steam, for example, you'll head over into the game section and activate a product on Steam. Upon doing so, you can then enter the key if you do have one. However, right now it looks like they did run out of Steam keys. So until then, you won't be able to claim that. If you wanted to use the Epic Games client, there is another method here. So for the Epic Games client, you can click on the top right on your little profile icon. You can then go down to redeem code, to where you can then enter the code in, and it will then be in your library to install. I have done this method since I don't have Steam keys available currently to myself. However, more than likely, I am going to go through the route of actually downloading the client or the standalone client. If you don't want to use either of those options, or you're out of the Steam key or out of luck here with that, and I'm guessing some of you or a lot of you probably aren't going to want to use the Epic Games client, then you can use the standalone client here. However, there's some complexities with that and a little bit different. So first up here, if we refer to this article here, they actually do drop the download link for the Path of Exile 2 client, where you can download that at pathofexile2.com/download. You can then head to this URL and it will actually provide you with several links here. Of course, it links to all the different launchers, Steam, Epic Games, PS5, and Xbox. But the one that we're utilizing here is the Windows download. Once you do get that installer, you will run it, and it is just essentially the installer for the client. You can then run the client itself, which will be on your desktop, although that has been giving a ton of errors for me right now. Looks like they're running in a lot of server issues or a lot of issues in general. I've gotten several errors so far just trying to launch this client download, so it might take some of you a lot of time to download this depending on how that's going to happen or work. Now once you do install the client, it will look like this, and then when you click through, you actually do have the option to change the download path. So originally I missed this, but there is an icon here that says options. When you head into that, you will be able to change your install location. A lot of people probably want it on their NVMEs or their SSDs and not their main drive or OS drive, so you can change your location there in the options setting. That's going to be where you want to actually change your install location, because after that point you won't be able to select that as soon as you launch the PoE from your desktop. That's going to install everything where you did decide that. Again, there's been multiple errors through this right now. It's going to run through something called allocating space, or it's going to allocate some space for that. After that point, it will try to download. It'll download something at first, and then it will try to download the actual game. I've run into multiple errors through the setup process. Just to keep trying it seems to be the best of luck right now. There's a lot of people trying to download through this method, it seems, because of the Steam client or the Steam keys running out. Again, if you didn't claim your Steam key earlier, it's more than likely not going to be there, and you're going to want to have this pre-downloaded before launch tomorrow. So this is the alternate method in order to download the game currently. Now there are a few notable mentions here with launch, some things that are changing, some things that won't be there. So first up here, for example, there is a PSA that the Blind Spectre will not be available at the start of early access due to some technical issues. So essentially this is a minion that will not be available, so for a lot of people this is going to change their plans. Pretty massive one for it not to be there, but it does showcase that this is why we're playing early access, or this is a early access download to let you know that some things might not work fully. With tomorrow's launch, there is also a supporter streamer and Twitch drops. So for the week 1, they are doing the energizing bolt flask effect and the Halo of Righteous helmet attachment. You will need to watch somebody for 3 hours to accumulate both of those. For week 2, that's going to be the Temporal Lords portal effect that will run from December 14th to December 22nd. And again, you will need to accumulate 3 hours on any channel streaming in Path of Exile 2. There is also a supporter streamer, so you can support a streamer if you do gift 2 Twitch subs of any tier from December 6th to December 22nd. You can get yourself the Chimera pet, so some notable cosmetics there if you wanted to. Now there is one last notable mention here, and that is essentially that there is probably going to be a queue tomorrow. Someone points out here already they've already pre-downloaded the game, and what it says right now is the servers are not online yet, but you've been placed in a queue. Right now they are currently 2,443, so you might want to pre-launch your game as soon as it's done pre-downloading. However, there are some discrepancies with that. As I went before in the article, they are going to be doing patches throughout this, and they even said there will likely be updates on launch, so please note that they're going to be patching Path of Exile 2 in early access with a few remaining files that need to be updated as well. So it more than likely is going to kick you out anyways and won't let you play the game, or at least this server queue will be meaningless for right now. This is just their test for the real launch thing, so I wouldn't worry too much on this overall launch or this overall queue as of right now, or even getting pre-downloaded done sooner, as it seems like they still have some unlocked files to go through and some files to update. Overall, I hope this guide helped you through how to download all the different clients and different methods, especially with Steam running out of keys, and with the release being so close, people really don't have time to wait for those new Steam keys. Overall though, if you liked the video, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuces!